Alright, so I've noticed in hip hop there's been this recent trend, this recent dangerous trend of rap groups kicking out their most important members. First, we saw this with YBN Cordae when he left willingly YBN. And that didn't necessarily look like it was a smooth transition. It looked like there was some drama behind the scenes, judging of the way Namir was speaking on Twitter. But now, today, I look at reports of ASAP Ills and ASAP Bari being a sexual predator. I'm just putting that out there, calling ASAP Rocky dumb trash and saying that he can't make good music anymore, he can't make hits, and that he's not on their level. Now, for me, the exact first thought that came to mind was, how can you look down on somebody who's made hits before when you literally haven't made hits? I know that ASAP Bari isn't a rapper. I'm not entirely sure what an ASAP Ills is, but how can you look down on somebody when there's literally only been two people in your rap group to chart on Billboard? Literally only two, and then you kick out one of them and say that he's not on your level. That doesn't make sense at all. It's like me telling Jay-Z to make more money. It doesn't make sense. How can you look down on somebody who's above you? It really feels like the ASAP mob is trying to build a house and they just kicked out the architect. There's no strategy behind their moves. Now, I want to take a moment to compare this again back to YBN, because it was already sad for Namir and Almighty J to be so stuck in YBN Cordae's shadow. But now that YBN Cordae, and I know I keep calling him YBN Cordae when it's just Cordae now, I'm just getting adjusted to the new name. But it's so sad now when you look at Cordae, because now he just put out a song after leaving the group. He put out a song with Roddy Rich, and the song is very successful. It's gravitating with a lot of people, and it's a very well received song. So this tells the public something. It tells them that he will be successful without YBN, that he doesn't need YBN, and that he will be good without them. And this makes YBN look way worse than it already does, because now it implies that not only will he be successful without them, but they were probably holding him back. YBN Cordae, his association with YBN was doing more for YBN, Namir, and Almighty J than they were doing for him. And the whole point of a rap group is that you don't have to grind alone. Everybody's putting each other on, everybody's helping each other. It's a family. And I don't want to say that Cordae leaving the group after capitalizing off of their success is a good thing. I'm not saying this mentality of I'm leaving my niggas because now I'm successful is the good mindset that everybody should have. I'm not saying that because I don't necessarily know everything that happened behind the scenes. I'm just giving my opinion from an audience's perspective. But now bringing this back to ASAP Ferg, if Ferg leaves and actually goes on to still have a fulfilling career, to still have a mainstream relevant career, very good career, put out good music and hits here and there, that'll say a lot about ASAP. The same way Cordae leaving said a lot about YBN, that he doesn't need them. And then in this scenario, people probably would start looking at ASAP Rocky and start saying things like, okay, if Ferg is successful without ASAP, what does that say about you, Rocky? The most successful ASAP, what does that say about you? And the day ASAP Rocky starts thinking to himself, I don't really need ASAP anymore, then you see where the rest of this is going. ASAP is pretty much digging a hole for themselves that they can't get out of. Now, luckily, recently, ASAP Nast came on social media to say that ASAP Ferg hasn't been kicked out of the group, that this is just a misunderstanding, this was just a squabble between ASAP members, and that's very good. I guess that does make me happy to see that. But to see somebody in ASAP go online and say that Ferg has been kicked out, and to have another member of ASAP co-sign that mentality, that says a lot about how intense that situation was. This wasn't just a squirrel, this was something deep that a lot of people, because for all we know there were other ASAP members that felt like Ferg should be kicked out for whatever happened behind the scenes. So for Nas to come out and say this was just a fight between family members, that's cool. I mean, we've seen people like the Migos fight and they're still the Migos, but I don't know, something about how intense this whole situation was tells me that this is far from done. But what do you guys think? Is ASAP Ferg actually kicked out of the group, or should he actually leave? Is ASAP doing anything for him today?